Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankara-Acharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. Om Sahana-Vavatu Sahanau-Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalasphटिकाकृतिम् Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe. Om Shri Hayagrivaya Namaha. Om Shri Vallabha Sameta Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. So we were in the topic of samvidah, Atmatva-upapattih. So in this context, then who is the knower? Jnata. Because the Purva Pakshi is saying Atma is Jnata, not Samvit or Jnanam. And we say that Jnatritvam is Adhyastha. Okay. So I am a knower is also an Adhyasa on this Jnanam, which is Brahman, Atma. Now they are pointing out that it is not possible, this Adhyasa of Jnatritvam or the Jnata on Jnanam is not possible. He is raising an objection that in that case, you should have the pratiti aham anubhavaha, because for him aham is jnata, and you are taking the jnata as anubhavaha, means then you should have the adhyasa pratiti. The erroneous cognition should be aham anubhavaha. Like even there is this neelam nabha, we say, correct? The sky, blue sky, we say. Really speaking, sky or space does not have any color. It is colorless by its nature, but you are doing a adhyasa of color on that. So that is what he is saying here. So this is the objection which is raised, that this kind of adhyasa itself is not possible. So whatever you are saying is not correct. So here he says, Nacha nabho neelamiti vat anubhavaha jnata iti pratitihi syad iti vachyam. So anubhavaha jnata or aham, like that, there is no pratiti to say that the jnatritvam has been adhyasta. But nabaha neelam is there. Itivat, this is not there, he is saying. But you cannot say that. Why? Because Neela Rupa Virodhi Akara Abhavena Nabasi Nabaha Neelam iti Pratitihi Bhavati. So the Neela Rupa Virodhi Akara Abhavena, there is no Virodha for Neela Rupa in the Akasha, we say. Because Akasha is colorless. There is no opposition to the Neela, this blue color in Akasha. So blue is superimposed on the Akasha, and you are having the Adhyasa Neelam Nabaha. Okay. But in the case of this Jnanam and Jnata, he is saying Anubhave, or Anubhava is Jnanam for us. Okay. Anubhave tu Jnatr Virodhi Akara Satvat Anubhavaha Jnata iti na pratitihi. So what we are saying is, with reference to Anubhava, that Anubhava and Jnatritvam are opposed to each other. Okay. So there is a Virodhi Akara Satva. Therefore, Anubhavaha Jnata, that pratiti is not there. But the pratiti is that aham jnata is there. Okay. So he is now saying it is also similar to this ayam sarpaha. So there also the sarpa gets added with the pronoun, correct? Ayam. So this sarpa is the erroneous cognition. It is not, rope snake is not the erroneous cognition, but this snake. Once you know the rope, in fact, there is no rope snake, in fact, correct? So he is saying yatha ayam sarpaha ityeva pratitihi natu rajju sarpaha iti. So like that here also, Anubhavaha Jnata is not the adhyasa pratyaya, but it is aham jnata. Okay. Now, again he has a problem. Why? He is saying nacha nirakare anubhave katam jnatra virodhi akara sattvam iti vachyam. Okay. So we said that there is a jnatra virodhi akara is there in the anubhava jnanam. But you also say jnana is nirakara, nirguna, nishkriya, etc. So how can you in nirakara anubhava, now you are saying there is a jnatra virodhi akara is there. How is this possible? Means now he is saying, see, this jnatra virodhitvam also is only in keeping with the vyavahara. Loka vyavahara is like that, correct? So what we are saying, you cannot say that navachyam vai jnanatvad anubhavasya loke jnana jnatroho jnaya jnatroho eva bhedasatva. So in the loka vyavahara, this anubhava is nothing but jnanam, and in the loka vyavahara there is a triputi, correct? Jnana is different from jnata. Jnana cannot be jnanam, because the vrittik jnanam only is taken as jnanam by the whatever normal people in the loka vyavahara. So there is a jnana jnatroho, jnaya jnatroho. Also there is a difference between known and the knower. There is a difference between knowledge and the knower. So this bheda is there. So there is a virodhi akara is there. We are saying there is a jnatra virodhi akara in the jnanam or anubhava. Therefore, that pratiti is not there. But aham is really jnanam or anubhava. But that aham is taken as jnata. That is the adhyasa we are talking about. Once we say this, then he is coming back. He says, yadyapi anubhavasya nirvishaya jnanasya. Okay, we are only giving this note. Okay, yadyapi anubhavasya nirvishaya jnanasya jnatrakara viroda abhavadeva tatra jnatuhu adhyasaha. See, in the anubhava, there is no, really speaking, the nirakara anubhava jnanam doesn't have any opposition to anything, in fact. Okay, it is not opposed to either jnanam or ignorance and all that we say, correct? It is shining. Everything is evident to that only. It keeps shining. It shines on everything. So what he is saying, yadyapi, that's what. Even though this nirvishaya jnanasya, in the nirvishaya jnana, this jnatrakara virodha abhava deva. There is no virodha for the, and tatra jnatuhu adhyasaha. So, and there only, in the nirakara jnanam only, the jnata is superimposed. But still what? Tathapi lokaha savishaya jnanam eva anubhavam manyate iti. So in the loka, people only take the savishaya jnanam or vrittik jnanam as the jnanam or anubhavam, not the nirvishaya nirakara jnanam. So from their standpoint, what? So savishaya jnanam eva anubhavam manyate iti kritva tasya cha jnatrakara virodha satvat, and that has virodha with jnata, correct? The jnatrakara. So therefore, what? Anubhavaha jnata iti lokaha na pratyeti. So in the loka, nobody has the pratyaksha that I am anubhava. I am here is not Samskrita I am English I am. Okay. Or aham anubhavaha iti pratitihi is not there, but aham jnata is there. Okay. Okay. So that's how we explain here. So we are saying evam anubhavagata jnanakarasya jnatrakara virodhena anubhavah jnata iti pratiti abhavepi anubhavagata ahamakarasya tad vikara no tad avirodhat jnataham iti pratitihi bhavati. So now how this aham jnata pratiti comes also is explaining. So he is saying in this manner, this anubhavagata jnanakarasya jnatrakara virodhena, at least in the loka drishti, there is a virodha between jnanam and jnata. Therefore what? There is no anubhavam or anubhavaha jnata iti pratiti is not there. So jnata iti pratiti abhavepi, anubhavaha jnata iti pratiti abhavepi, even though there is no pratiti or cognition that I am experience or I am anubhava. But anubhavagata aham akarasya, so the aham is there. Anubhava is really aham only. Whatever we say as aham, aham, aham is that jnana swarupa really. But in loka drishti, there is no virodha between aham and jnata. Okay, there is no jnatrakara virodha. Therefore, so anubhavagata aham akarasya tad avirodhat jnataham iti pratitihi bhavati. So aham jnata is the pratiti. That itself is adhyasa only. Anyonya adhyasa, in fact. So here, once we say this, what he is saying, nacha anubhavasya aham shabdarthatvam, aham shabdartha abhavat nasti aham akaraha iti vachyam. So you are saying anubhava is aham akara. That is aham. We said that anubhavagata aham akarasya, that aham iti anubhava only is really aham, correct? But they don't accept that. They say that aham is jnata. Aham artha is really knower, not jnana swarupa. So he is saying anubhavasya aham shabdarthatva abhavat. Anubhava is not aham shabdartha. Aham shabdartha is only jnata. Therefore, he is saying nasti aham akara iti. So it cannot have aham akara. Anubhava cannot have aham akara. So you cannot say that this anubhavagata aham akara only is now getting connected with jnatritvam and aham jnata, like that adhyasa is there. Means what we say, we are saying anubhavasya. Okay, in the loka again, aham the mukhyartha of aham is not anubhava. We accept that. Okay. But what is the shastra drishti? So anubhavasya aham shabda lakshyarthatva satva. So jnanam is the lakshana for atma, correct? So this aham is really is the lakshya. So lakshyartha is there, lakshyartatva satva. So aham shabda also is pointing to this conscious entity only, this consciousness. Therefore, even though mukhyartha is not there, lakshyartha is there. In fact, lakshanaya only, shastra itself is teaching this, correct? So lakshyarthatva satva, so there is no problem. Okay, once we say this, what he is saying, no, nacha lakshyarthaha sam na mukhyaha iti vachyam. Correct, he is now saying, no, but lakshyartha is not mukhya. We also agree, in fact, yeah, lakshyartha is not mukhya. Mukhya is different. So even if you say that, what by saying that, there is no objection really. Why? Because loka drishtya tasya amukhyatvepi shastra drishtya mukhyatvam eva. So loka drishti, we accept that aham is not anubhava for anybody or jnanam. But shastra drishti is that shastra is actually teaching you that. That is the reason this is even that aham jnata and all is really adhyasa. Why we say? Because shastra drishtya aham is really jnana swarupa. So shastra drishtya mukhyatvam eva, loka drishtya is amukhya. Therefore, what atma vachi kalu aham shabdaha atma cha anubhavaha eva iti. So what we say, this aham is really atma, self. I, when you say, it is the self only. And this self is nothing but jnana swarupa. Atma is jnana swarupa only. So atma cha anubhavaha eva. Atma is jnanam alone. It is a conscious, existent, conscious entity. Okay. Evam atmanah ham shabda vachyatvadev atmani jnatuhu adhyasepi aham jnata iti vyavaharaha laukikaha atma jnata iti tu shastriya vyavaharaha. So we are saying aham jnata, that is the laukika vyavahara. Everybody says I am the knower, correct? I am the karta, bhokta, etc. I am the knower also in that. But Shastra is pointing out that jnata is actually Atma, but Atma is not jnata. That will also come. So the Shastra drishti is different from Laukika drishti. So he is saying what? Atma jnata iti tu shastriya vyavaharaha. Tasmad anubhava rupasya atmanaha jnatritvam mithyaiva. Therefore, this Atma Raham, which is of the Anubhava Rupa, for that Jnatritvam is Mithya, it is false, it is only Adhyastha, it is not real, it's not its Swarupa. Further what? So again he goes back, he says, Yatha Nirupasya Gaganasya Nila Rupatvam Mithya Tadvatiti. Like even really speaking, Akasha is colorless. It doesn't have any Akara or any Rupa. It is Nirupaha, it is colorless. But in that the color is superimposed. Similarly, Atma is not having any Nyatrakara. It is not in the form of knower, but it is taken as knower. So in this context, Sudarshana has said something. So he is saying now, Yad Uktam Atra Sudarshanena. So Sudarshanacharya said what? Vishaya Prakashaka Samvidaha Eva Atmatva-upapattih. So first he is saying what? Atma means it has to light up something else, some Vishaya, some object. That alone is considered as Atma. When we say Atma or Jivatma, individual Atma, it has to light up an object. Means basically they are saying knower alone is Atma. Again they are going back to the same funda. Because if you say that Vishaya Avabhasakatvam has to be there, then only you are Atma, means basically you are lighting up a Vishaya, means you are the knower. Correct? So Vishaya Prakashaka Samvidaha Eva Atmatva Abhyupagamena Tvaya Swayam Prakashatva Samarthanacha. And also Sudarshanacharya is telling the Advaitin that you accept that Swayam Prakashatvam also you are accepting for Jnanam. Okay. But what he is saying, Saiva Adhishthanam iti. So what he is saying is Atma is Swayam Prakasha and Atma is the Adhisthana, let us say for Adhyasa. But Atma being Swayam Prakasha, it should be known, correct? So if the rope is known, how can there be snake Adhyasa? This is one of the objections which the Dvaitins raise. Okay. So he is saying this. You are saying Atma is Swayam Prakasha, Atma is Jnana, and it is the Adhisthana also. But Adhisthana is known because it is Swayam Prakasha. It has to be known, correct? Swayam Prakashatva Samarthanacha Saiva Adhishthanamiti Tad Avabhase. So this Adhisthana is shining already. Tasyascha Shuktitvadi Vat Brahma Virodhitve. So that means what? If it is already known, this Shukti is already known, let us say, then there cannot be Rajata Adhyasa there, correct? So Shuktitvadivat. So if you already know the Shukti, then the Brahma cannot happen. There will be Brahma Virodha, correct? Brahma Virodhitve. Adhyasa Anudayaha. Adhyasa cannot happen because Atma is Swayam Prakasha. That means it should be known already. And since it is known, there cannot be any Adhyasa. If the Adhisthana is known, there is no Adhyasa. Means iti tad ayuktam. That is not proper. Why? Nat nyatra adhyasat prak samvidaha vishaya prakashakatvam eva nasti iti. See what we are saying, this vishaya prakasha and swayam prakashatvam and all they say have to be together for them. Because while the vishaya prakasha is happening, swayam prakasha also, it becomes swayam prakasha. That is their idea. And when the swayam prakasha is there, then you can, that means you are knowing it as it is because it is self-luminous. Therefore, there cannot be any dhyasa there. What we are saying is what? Your first statement that Vishaya Prakashaka Samvidaha eva Atmatva Abhyubhagama, you have said correct. That only we do not accept. Because Atma does not always have Vishaya Prakashakatvam. Okay. Further, the Vishaya has to be there, correct? The subject-object duality, subject and object are interdependent in that. That means only when the object is there, subject will be there. But even when the subject-object duality is not there, Atma is there. Okay. So this Atmatva Abhyubhagama, whatever you are saying, we cannot accept that. So we are saying tadayuktam, whatever you have said here with reference to Vishaya Prakasha and Swayam Prakasha, etc. And based on that you say Adhyasa cannot happen. That is not true. Because according to him, the Swayam Prakashatvam also shows oneself as the Jnata. And that is correct for him. That is the reality. So if Aham, the Swayam Prakashatvam reveals yourself as a Jnata, then that is not subject, that cannot be subjected to any more superimposition or Adhyasa, etc. But what we are saying is, this Jnatra Adhyasat Prak, even before you are a subject or a knower, samvidah Vishaya Prakashakatvam eva nasti. There is no Vishaya Prakashakatvam or anything for samvid. Samvid is there by itself. There need not be any Vishaya. In fact, all Vishayas are only Mithya. So once we say this, what he is saying, Nacha evam Vishaya Prakashakatva bhave samvidah Swayam Prakashatva asiddhihi iti vachyam. So if the Vishaya Prakasha itself is not there, then Swayam Prakasha also cannot be there, is their argument actually. So that's how they claim. The Jnanam is Swayam Prakasha and it also does Vishaya Prakasha. And due to his Swayam Prakashatvam, it also lights up the knower. So the Atma becomes the knower then. Okay. So here the Swayam Prakashatva Asiddhihi they are saying. Samvidaha Swayam Prakashatvam cannot be there if there is no Vishaya Prakashatva. Means that you cannot say why Ghatadi Vishaya Prakashakataya Swayam Prakashatvena Todabhimatasya Deepasyapi Ghatadi Vishaya Abhave Vishaya Prakashakatva Abhavena Swayam Prakashatva Siddhi Prasangat. What we are saying, you people are saying Deepa is Swayam Prakasha. Why? Because Deepa also lights up Ghata, etc. And in the process, it is also luminous, self-luminous. Now, if you apply this condition that Vishaya Prakasha, if it is there only, something can be Swayam Prakasha. Even whatever you are saying that the Deepa is Swayam Prakasha will go away. Why? Because always there need not be an object for the Deepa to light up, correct? So Deepa can be there by itself without lighting up anything. Then is it not Swayam Prakasha then? Okay, so Deepasya Ghatadi Vishaya Abhave, if there is no Vishaya, will it not reveal itself? So this Swayam Prakashatvam and Vishaya Prakashakatvam, you cannot connect and say that only when the Vishaya Prakashakatva is there, Swayam Prakashatvam will be there. Like that, there is no rule. In fact, your own, whatever you have said about Deepa and all, will not be possible. That there will be asiddhi of that. Also, what? Really speaking, Swayam Prakasha means what? Prakashantara nirapekshataya. Swayam Prakashamanatvam hi. Swayam Prakashatvam means what? Swayam Prakasha means it is self-luminous, correct? It should not be dependent on anything else. There cannot be any dependence on anything else, in fact, or any other Prakasha or any other Vishaya also. You don't have to depend on anything else. That's why it is self-luminosity, correct? It is dependent only on yourself. So, Prakashantara nirapekshataya Swayam Prakashamanatvam hi Swayam Prakashatvam Tatcha Samvidhi Jnatra Dhyasat Prag Vishaya Abhavena Vishaya Prakashakatva Abhavepi Sambhavati eva iti. So what we are saying, in Samvit, even before the knower is superimposed, okay, Jnatra Dhyasat Prag and Vishaya Abhaven, when there is no Vishaya also, because when Vishaya is there, the Jnatra Dhyasa will be there. And further what? Vijaya Prakashakatva Abhavepi, and you are not lighting up any Vishaya also, because the Vishaya itself is not there, but still this Samvid is there. Okay, the Swayam Prakashakatvam is there in the Samvid because it is Nirapeksha. It is not dependent on anything else. Therefore, Tasmat Nirvishaya Swayam Prakasha Samvidhi eva Jnatuhu Adhyasa Sambhavaha iti. Therefore, what do we say? In the Nirvishaya Swayam Prakasha Samvid. In the consciousness which is not having any Vishaya, which is Swayam Prakasha, on that only Jnatra Adhyasa along with the Vishaya. Because the Jnatra and Jnaya are are interdependent. Okay, the adhyasa happens. Because for us, Nyayam also is really Chaitanyam only. Understand that. Chaitanyam alone, in the Chaitanyam alone, subject-object division is appearing. So, Nyatuhu adhyasa sambhavaha iti. Further what? Nacha nirvishaya samvit nasti anupalabdehe iti vachyam. Now he is saying, no, there is nothing called nirvishaya samvit. It is never experienced like that. Don't say that. Why? Na vachyam. Because what? Tacha uktam prageva parihritam iti. Okay. So, this thing already we had a Sushupti analysis before. There only in Sushupti, what kind of Anubhava is there and all that was very much discussed in details. So they say in Sushupti there is Anupalabdhi of Samvit itself or Jnanam, because for them Jnanam itself is only Vrittik Jnanam, correct? Triputi. There is no Triputi. Therefore he is saying there is Anupalabdhi of Jnanam in the sleep. We don't accept that. That has already been rejected and answered also. Therefore, don't bring that point again here. So further what? Nanu yadi atmanaha jnatritvam mithya tarhi atmani jnata adhyasta iti uchyeta natu tanmithya tatha sati atmataya abhimatayaha anubhutehe api mithyatvam syaditi chet ma evam. So now they are saying, if you say on the atma, the jnatritvam itself is mithya. Okay. Therefore, what? On the Atma, this Jnata is Adhyastha. The knower is superimposed on the Atma. But what he is saying is, but this Atma is not Mithya. Okay. Natu tan Mithya. Therefore, but what will happen? But if you say Jnata itself is not Mithya, but if you say Jnata is Adhyastha, Atma also will become Mithya. Like this, they are, because for them, Atma is Jnata. And if you say Jnata is Adhyastha, Atma itself will become Mithya, or Anubhuti also will become Mithya. Okay. Because they are only looking at it from the standpoint of the Triputi again. Jnanam is Anubhava for him. That Jnanam is really Vrittik Jnanam. Therefore, if one of that is also Mithya, then Jnanam, Nyayam, everything is Mithya. In fact, which is what we are also saying. But from his standpoint, then the Anubhuti also will become Mithya. So, tatha sati atmataya abhimatayaha anubhutehe. In fact, he is still saying it is abhimatayaha, means whatever you consider as atma, which is anubhuti, that will also become mithya. If you say jnata is mithya, anubhuti also will become mithya. Okay. Because without jnata, there is no anubhuti for him. You understand? Because in the general vyavahara, loka vyavahara, jnata, jnanam and nyayam go together always. If jnata is mithya, jnanam also will become mithya, because there cannot be any jnanam without jnata being there. That is his idea. Okay. So if you say this, ma evam, it is not in this manner. You cannot say that if jnata is mithya, jnanam also will become mithya. In fact, only vrittik jnana will become mithya, which is fine. But they don't differentiate between vrittik jnanam and swarupa jnanam. Therefore, there is some confusion. So, what we say, nahi asmabhihi jnatritvam anubhavaha iti uchyate yena jnatritva mithyattvena anubhutehe mithyatvam shankyeta. So, what we are explaining is, jnatritvam itself is not anubhava. Okay, and this anubhava is also not vrittik jnana for us. So, only if jnatritvam itself is anubhava, then if the jnatritvam is mithya, anubhava also will become mithya. But in fact, for them, jnatritvam and jnanam or jnanatvam, they say, are all dharma of Atma. They are also looking at it as dharma. So if one is mithya, another will become mithya also, they are thinking, I think. Anyway, what we are saying is Jnatritvam is not, is Anubhava for us. And therefore, if Jnatritvam is mithya, it doesn't automatically mean or imply that Anubhava also will become mithya. So you cannot have this doubt. So what we are saying, Kim Tarhi, Jnatuhu Swarupameva Anubhavaha, Natu Dharmaha iti uchyate. Further what? This is what important point. This Jnanam or Anubhava for him is a dharma. But we are saying it is the Jnatu Swarupa. It is the Swarupa of the knower. It is not a dharma. If it is a dharma, if the dharmi itself is not there, then dharma will become also mithya. That way also you can say. But what we are saying, this jnanam or anubhava is not a dharma. It is actually the jnatu swarupa. Therefore, there is no defect or any problem here. Ataha na doshaha iti. Okay. Even if we say this, what he is saying now, nacha anubhava adhyastasya jnatuhu katham anubhavaha eva swarupam iti vachyam. See, how can you say that Anubhava is the Swarupa of Jnata? Because Jnata is only Adhyasta. It is superimposed. It is like saying that one thing Swarupa is something else. Means that is true, correct? In general, if you say the Swarupa of snake is rope, it is wrong. But for rope snake, the snake Swarupa is rope only, correct? It is not Adhishtana Ananya. Adhishtana is the Swarupa of the Adhyasta. Generally, if you say snake is rope, it is wrong. But in the case of rope snake, snake is rope, we can say, correct? That is the correct thing, in fact. So he is pointing out, you cannot say that Jnata's Adhishtana, which is Anubhava, cannot be its Swarupa. In fact, the Adhishtana is the Swarupa for the Adhyastha. So Kalpitasya Adhishtanameva Swarupamiti. So it is Yuktam. There is no defect there. Okay, so with this, one particular thing is over. Now again, we are going into something else which Ramanuja has said. Yaduktam Ramanujena Dehatma Abhimanavataha eva Jnatritva Pratitivat Anubhuti Pratitihi iti Kritva Jnatritvasya Mithyatve Anubhutehe api Mithyatvam. Again, same point. Ramanuja is saying Dehatma Abhimanavataha, the one who has the Dehatma Abhimana, for him only there is Jnatritva is there. So Jnatritva Pratiti is there. I am a knower. Like that, the one who has Dehatma Abhimana only can say I am a knower. Similarly, I have experience also, only that person can say, correct? Itivat anubhuti pratitihi is the cognition of having an experience. I experienced or I have this experience, etc. Also is only Dehatma Abhimanavataha only for him. So both are similar, Jnatritva and Anubhava. Therefore, if one is mithya, another also should be mithya. Jnatritvasya mithyatve anubhutehe api mithyatvam iti tadapi mandam. So this also is not very bright. Why? Dehadishu anatmasu atma abhimanavan eva manusyoham drashtaham jnataham iti pratyeti. So what we are saying, correct. Dehatma abhimana, whatever you are saying is correct. For that person only, all these identities are there. I am a human being, I am a seer, I am a knower, all these things. Okay. Tadrahitastu aham anubhavaha ityeva pratyeti. But if the one who does not have the Dehatma Abhimana, who is a jnani, for that person, aham Chaitanya Swarupaha eva, Anubhuti Swarupaha eva. That is the Anubhava, in fact, really. So, tadrahitastu aham Anubhavaha, I am this Anubhava only, this Jnanam only, Jnana Swarupam only. That is how they see the jnanis. So, the Ajnanis have this Dehatma Abhimana, and because of that, they have all this pratiti that aham Manushaha, etc. Okay, therefore, what dehadi atma abhimanavataha darshita pratiti abhava. Therefore, aham anubhavaha or aham jnanam, this pratiti is not there for the dehatmavadi. In fact, Dehatmavadi may say, I have jnanam or I have anubhava. That is different from aham anubhavaha, correct, which the jnani is having. So this pratiti is not there for the Dehatmavan. Therefore, this is different. So anubhava will not become mithya. That is in fact the yathartha, we are saying. But once we say this, what he is saying, nacha mama dehadi atma abhimanaha nasti jnataham iti pratitihi asti iti vachyam. So now he is saying, no, I don't have dehatma abhimana, physical deha, but I am the knower. Like this I know, he is saying. That is not possible because sukshma sharira abhimana, without that you cannot say you are a knower. Okay. But anyway, this is the Purva Pakshi is saying, mama dehadi atma abhimanaha nasti. Okay, but what jnataham iti pratitihi asti, I am a knower. That pratiti, that cognition is there, but I am not the deha. That also I know. Means that is not possible. Na vachyam. You can't say that. Why? Antakarana tadatmya abhimana prayuktatvadeva tat pratitehe iti. Even the pratiti that I am a knower is due to the tadatmya adhyasa of atma and antakarana. Antakarana tadatmya abhimana is there. You place yourself, the I, the identity on your antakarana or buddhi, then only you become a knower, correct? Otherwise, there is no knowership or anything in Atma. So that is also one form of Dehadi Abhimana only. It's not Stula Deha Abhimana, but it is Sukshma Deha Abhimana. So that Aham Jnata iti Pratiti also is because of Tadatma Adhyasa only. Further, what Yeduktam Anubhavavad Jnatritvam api Abhaditatvat na mithyati. Okay. Tadapi ayuktam. So no, another point is what? If you say Anubhava is Satyam, it is not Mithya because it is not negated by anybody, anything, any pramana. But Jnatritvam also is similar now. So they are now changing track. He is saying if Anubhava is Satyam, Jnatritvam also is Satyam. It cannot be Mithya because it is also not negated by anything. At least that's what they are claiming. Okay. So Jnatritvam api abhaditatvat na mithya iti tadapi ayuktam, but that's not proper, tenable. Why? Kim janami iti pratitya tu tvam atmanaha jnatritvam sishadhayishasi. Okay. So you want to establish this knowership of Atma by the pratiti aham janami. Okay, I know. Or yadva shastrena, or through the shastra praman. Because aham janami is a pratyaksha, sakshi pratyaksha. Through which pramana you want to establish the jnatritva, which is it is always there and it cannot be negated. First we say na adhyaha. You cannot say aham janami. Through using that aham janami cognition, you are establishing the jnatritva as always being there. Why? Because sushuptyadau tat pratiti abhavena atmanaha jnatritva yoga. In sushupti aham janami is not there, but I am there. Correct? That's why I say I slept. So aham janami is not there in sushupti. So that pratiti is not there, that cognition is not there. I know. Therefore, from this only it is negated, it is badita. Therefore, atmanaha jnatritva ayoga. But I slept. I am there, but I know is not there. Therefore, I know is not there always, means it is badita, it is negated, it is mithya. Second, also you cannot establish by Shastra. Na dvitiyaha vai nirdharmaka paramananda bodha rupatvam eva atmanaha shastram pratipadayati. Shastra also is revealing Atma as that which is having no qualities, correct? Nirdharmaka and paramananda bodha rupa. It is vijnanam anandam brahma, correct? Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. So bodha swarupa only this Atma is, jnana swarupa it is. Therefore, Shastra also is revealing whatever we are saying. Shastra is not saying that Jnatritvam is the Swarupa of Atma. Therefore, whatever you say, you cannot really establish it either with Sakshi Pratyaksha or with the Shastra. But further what they are saying, no, Muktau nacha muktau api atma jnata eva iti vachyam. For them, this jnatritvam is always there. Even the mukta purushas are jnatas. They are knowers. They call them nitya surayaha and all that. Okay. So muktau api atma jnata eva. You cannot say this jnatritvam is not there. Even if you are a jnani, you have become a mukta purusha. You may not have deha the abhimana, but you are still jnata only. What we say, hey, hey, muktau dvitiyasya eva abhavena katam jnatritvam atmanah. See, if you are a mukta purusha, there is no real second thing. Then where is the question of any jnatritvam? Jnatritvam is dependent on jnaya vastu. There has to be a real jnaya vastu to be for you to be really a knower, correct? If there is no real jnaya vastu, where is the question of any jnatritvam being there? Dvaitam itself is not there. So tatra kena kam pashyet, kena kam vijaniyat and all is there. Upanishad explicitly talks about that. Correct? Yatra atmaiva abhut sarvam. Tatra kena kam pashyet. If everything is self, then who is going to see with what? There is no jnatra, jnaya, etc. All this vyavahara is not there. So atmanaha jnatritvam katham in this case, if there is no dvaita. But once we say this what, no, he is saying no. Nacha muktau dvitiyam asti iti watching. Even for the one who is mukta, dvaita is there. That they are saying. That also we can't accept. Why? Ekam eva dvitiyam brahma, ekaha advaitaha nanyat pashyati, tat kena kam pashyed, ityadi shruti shatat. There are so many shrutis which is revealing advaita. So what are you saying? The mukta purusha cannot have any dvaita darshana. Really? So, nacha anubhavopi baditaha eva iti vachyam. Even after this, what? No, but anubhava also is badita. If you say jnatritvam is badita, then anubhava also will become badita. Okay, it will be negated, he's saying. Now he's changing track. Means that also you can't say. Why? Now we are asking, anubhavaha kena badhyate. How are you saying that anubhava is negated or it goes away? Okay, so for that what he is saying, nacha shushuptyadav anubhava bhavat kalena badhyate ichi vachyam. So what they are saying, during in time anubhava also is negated. Why? Because in sushupti anubhava is not there. That is their claim. Okay, sushupti adav adipatat samadhi etc. Also we can take murcha etc. Fainting. When you are unconscious, there is no anubhava. Therefore, it is negated in time. Kalena badhyate means that you can't say. Why? Sushuptau tatra ahamartha spurana. So in the sushupti, there is no ahamartha, spurana itself. Aham iti spurana also is not there, correct? Nahi jagara swapnayoriva sushuptau aham janami iti vyavaharaha. So in the sushupti, there is no vyavahara that aham janami. That vyavahara is not there, we accept. But therefore, this ahamartha or aham janami, etc. are there only in jagrat and swapna, and that too why? Because there is the Chaitanya Abhasa is there in the Antakarana. Because of this only all these things are there, but that doesn't mean the Chaitanya itself is not there in the Sushupti. The Chaitanya Abhasa is not there in the Sushupti, therefore there is no, this Aham iti Vyavahara is not there. Okay? Or even I don't even know myself as I, correct? I am also is not there in the Sushupti, but the continuity nobody can deny, because I am waker, I am dreamer, I am sleeper. But while sleeping, even I am sleeper is not there. Correct? That is the point. So what we are saying, tasmat aham arthasya, ahankarasya, chetana sannidhyena. So this presence of Chaitanya is there. When the ahankara is there, when the presence of Chaitanya is there, what will happen? Chetana tadatmya adhyasa, there is a Tadatmya adhyasa between the ahankara and the chetana, because the ahankara or buddhi is the closest to the pratyagatma, we say. So the first abhasa is in the buddhi only, and then from there only it goes to indriyas and physical body up to that. Okay, whatever we call sentient beings within the srishti, the abhasa starts with the buddhi and then further it goes. So chetana tadatmya adhyasa chetanavat chetanatva labhaha. So it is as though the ahankara has gained sentiency, what we say, correct? Awareness, sentiency. Means it has gained chetanatvam, consciousness. It has become conscious, the ahankara. Iti kritva swataha jadopi ahankaras chetanaha eva iti. So even though by itself it is jada ahankara, due to the abhasa, the appearance of consciousness in that, it is appearing as chetana. Okay. So once we say this, what he is saying, nanu kim chetanasya jivasya jnatritvam asti va nava. Okay, now he is trying to trap you. He is saying this jiva who is chetana, that for that jiva jnatritvam is there or not? Tell me. Okay. Now adye, if jnatritvam is there, okay, tava mata pataha, means then you cannot say that there is Chaitanya Adhyasa or all that. Correct? Jiva, you accept is Jiva is Nitya. Then if Jiva is a Nyatritvam also will become Nitya. So Adye Tava Mata Pataha. Dvitiye. If you say Jiva doesn't have Nyatritvam, then what? Jivasya eva avidyamanam Nyatritvam katam tad adhyasa adhyastasya ahankarasya bhavitum. If Jiva itself is not a Jnata, how can it come to the Ahankara then? Because you are saying Tadatmya, or this Dharma is coming there, that Dharma is coming here and all that, correct? So if the Jiva is not Jnata, then the Ahankara also cannot be Jnata. That is their point. And if Jiva is Jnata, then your Siddhanta is gone. So how are we going to answer this? That we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.